And we are back for the week of this weekend, right? The
Yeah,
27th of November. Wow.
the week after
Wow.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Catching up the year gone, man.
Yes, sir.
Every time around this time, we say the same thing. Boy, this year going fast. My God, the year going fast. Every time.
Like I said, when you're a child, it used to take long to come. Um, now it just seems like a business year and child year is two different things.
Boy, it's like nothing.
Hmm.
Man, this is crazy. Okay. But anyway, let's not waste any time. Let's
Uh,
give the people what they want. And let's find out what's in the news.
No broke man, no broke West man. Grand Bahama and Bimini. No broke man, no broke man. I say, can you just a broke man? Oh no. Can you just a broke bishop? Hell no. No broke man, 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 no broke man. Do you want a broke man? Oh no. Do you want a broke bishop? Hell no. I said I don't want no broke man.
What any broke bishop can do for me?
Oh, and I don't want no broke bishop. Hell no. I said I don't want no broke man representing me. I don't want no broke man in my constituency. I said I don't want no broke.
And the results are in, George. The people say
boy,
they ain't want no broke man.
you you think you heard that song before the election? I would turn back and gone home after.
Boy, I know, son. But it looked like they had that song
That's a
waiting and
hard
ready
song.
for them.
That's a hard song.
They wrong for
That
that.
that remind me. We don't want no. The people don't want no MC. They want an MP.
Oh, yeah. My God. So, like I said, the results are in. And the PLP candidate, Mr. Kingsley Smith, has won the West Grand Bahama and Bimini by-election. Now, with the unofficial count, Mr. Smith has finished with 2,150 votes ahead of the F&M's Bishop Ricardo Grant with 1,276 votes. The Coalition of Independence leader Lincoln Bain got 307 votes, followed by Daquan Swain, independent, who got 28 votes, and Tennille
Nice.
Burrows, independent, got 4 votes. She did better than I thought. She actually did better than I thought.
By,
So,
by, by 4 votes.
yeah, she did way better than I thought. I was pleasantly surprised by her getting all those votes. So therefore, I want to congratulate Mr. Kingsley Smith and the PLP, because now they can now continue with the people's business and get things done for the people of West Grand Bahama and Bimini. What did you think of the results, George?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard you know the results because you heard it first right here on this station, Superior Talk. Hey, Mr. Carlos Sweeting.
Yes, I did.
Breakdown, like you said, he might have been off for 1 or 2 votes.
One or
but
two votes.
spot on with the order of finish. Spot on pretty much with the margin of defeat.
Yes.
And so, I mean, yeah, I mean, call us prophets. I don't know if it was that prophetic. Since
Right.
everybody prophesying these days, but I think it was a lot of common sense also that went into this. We analyze this thing. Once you take the emotions out,
Yep.
you apply some logic to the situation. The results were not really ever in doubt. Like, I don't think this was ever a close race. I don't think this was ever a race where, well, let's start with this. We always knew it was only 2 people really in the race, 2 parties.
Yes. Yes.
It only could have been F&M and PLP. So if you start there, and by reasonable deduction, right, you start to look at the circumstances that brought about this by-election, the government party, all the things that we said seem to have gone straight as we stated it, according to plan. I think the voters looked and said, like you said, F&M can't do nothing for us. Broke man came out the first night after that speech. We had a show and we said that's it.
Yeah,
Park it
yeah,
up, down, game over. Right?
uh-huh.
I don't know what bringing Hubert Ingram and all these other people was for. I guess they want to come to Grand Mom. People wanted a reason to celebrate. But more disturbing to me, Carlo, was, and I didn't notice at the time, right? I just saw these things this week, right? These stories with the bishop and
Oh my.
Boss records and all these different things. And my thing is, what type of due diligence did the F&M conduct? And it's more concerning seeing that I don't think this is the first time the particular candidate offered himself for that seat. So this is the second time you had a chance to vet this. And from all indication, it seemed like it got worse between the last time and this time. And even more concerning is the fact that you remember the PLP, we had the show and we were talking about it, but at least seven people was running for this seat, right?
Yep.
So you have some competition. Now, I don't know how the F&M came out with this person as a unanimous candidate. When somebody comes out as a unanimous winner, that means they are so far and cut above the rest usually, or nobody just won the seat. Now,
it looks sad that we had to look at the PLP go through their fights and squabbles. And in PLP, you had people that's popping up in Grand Mama. They say they run it. They're checking, they ain't worrying but nobody.
Yeah.
The F&M on the other hand, there were no contestants, nobody to him. They only we got this. Now I don't know if they had him there from before. They say he was canvassing the environment from that time. So I don't know. But like you say, if all these allegations are true, was he the best of the worst? I don't know.
Let's forget them being true. Hey, if all of those allegations are allegations on there's too much allegations, but I remember going to magistrate's court before, and they were saying, magistrate, it ain't me, they lie on me. Magistrate tell the guy, listen, how much time they lie on you? Why always you?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so we saw this, I think it's happened in Peter Nygaard case, where he got convicted, and he got convicted, it seems, more so because of this similar fact evidence that was allowed in, which meant there were multiple people kind of alleging the same thing, right?
Yep.
And so when those things start to stack up against you, it's hard to take that out of the mind of persons. But it does seem like some poor judgment went in, like I said. At least, also, we talk about going to court. If the other side is going to come out with something on you, and and preparing your case, you want to be the one to throw that out first and explain this away first, right?
There was no explanation. Nothing.
Because you know it coming. You know this was going to be a dirty. We ain't punching above the belt. We ain't playing clean, right? So
Right.
you know these things were coming out. So why would you wait for these things to just pop out for the first time? People hearing this for the first time, coming from your opponent, and now you're scrambling to try provide defense. Oh no, it didn't go like that. It didn't, right? But again, what? Like I said, if you put everything in context, you're a bishop, right? You're a man of the cloth. So the allegations being made against you are more serious than against, Joe Blow, right? And so, and on top of that, you broke. So when you start to add up, like, is this the best candidate that the F&M had to put forward in this seat?
But if it was, what is this saying about the F&M party right now after this election? Because right now they in some problems right now and we can get into the next topic with that, how deeper problems they in. But to stay on the election, the amount they lost by. Now remember now, if you go back to last election, they say what 18, I can't remember, but 1,800 F&M state, well, 1,800 voters stayed on.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't get those half of them 1,800 people back in to say,
Right.
okay, come back
Right.
me up. We got a good candidate, we got a good cause, we got a good thing. When they say they focus on you,
Right.
now you can't bring in those people who strayed away. You can't bring them in. This a new leader now, new candidate, new everything. So you ain't got to worry about all them things what happened before in the past. Let's throw them away. This everything new.
Right.
This is saying a lot about the F&M party going forward, that hey, all these things were being brand new and the people still ain't come out to look at us. My God.
Well, yeah, it like you said, it says a lot, because if you're saying nothing happened in West Grand Bahama, and I think the PLP was quite strategic, because I think that's when the OB Center opened and everything else, right?
Oh yeah.
Did some road shops, some lights.
Oh yeah.
Things good. We have a young, vibrant candidate here to shake things up. Talk
That's
about
right.
shaking up, OB. And I mean, just the eye test alone, they look more ready for it. They look more serious about it. And like I said, when you add that to a candidate that came in with some issues, some kind of question marks, and didn't start off on the right tone, if Hubert Ingram did tell him to sit this one out, I think that was
Yeah.
that message aged well. I don't know why he turned around and supported them. And like you say, we'll get to the next story about who was missing. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think more so, like you said, spelling trouble for the F&M. I don't know if it spells as much trouble for the F&M, because we knew the F&M would lose the seat, right? Now, who does spell for trouble for, it seems, is the leader of the F&M, right?
Yep.
And again, some people, because we know they were going to lose the seat, and again begs the question of why even run in the seat? Wait another 3 years, let the people fall flat. Why go and give yourself a L when you didn't have to take that L? You can sit out and say, you know what, this is your seat, yes, you all mess, you all have to carry this for the next 3 years. We're gonna sit on the side and continue to agitate for Grand Bahama. We're gonna hit you all when the time is right. When you could sell it however you want, but to go there and lose, and like I said, to lose in this manner, and the discernment and the judgment, because ultimately, again, it doesn't seem like much of election and democratic process. The F&M came out and said, this is our man. This is the man who's going to do it for us. And the man fell far short from, like I said, we're in a different Bahamas now that, I don't think, particularly in a by-election, where all eyes on you. So it ain't like we watching all these different seats. Everybody, the Bahamas, attention was squarely on this one seat and these two candidates.
That's right.
No distractions. So you should be able to at least pass the smell test, pass the eye test, and all these different accusations come out, and they're some of the worst. I mean, other than child pedophilia,
God,
beating
my God.
beating woman is always I'm sorry, I can't. It's hard to help anyone in that situation if the allegations are not true. And I understand it's a divorce petition, so it's not really a criminal court or anything. But some things you don't even need your character. You don't need on paper and the public documents. You need to find some way to wipe that clean to get your name sorted out. And this. I don't want to say too much more of it other than bad judgment, obvious result, which the effect of that loss is worse than if you had not run at all. And it was a foregone conclusion. This makes it, aggravates the loss.
We can talk later about the F&M and what's going on. Where does this put the COI after this election? What does this tell them? Because they got, 304 votes, 307 votes?
Yeah.
I mean, for someone who ain't from West End, who couldn't find West End if he was sitting in Boodle Bay. He got a lot of votes. I wasn't even expecting all of that. He got a lot of votes from them people.
He got a lot of votes, I think, and I don't. The problem with that is I don't think that those votes will necessarily correspond to the COI, because the COI is Lincoln Bean. I mean, you see Lincoln all the time, and so they're not really selling candidates at this point. So when they start to run a first lane, you see these other faces. Although Lincoln is so popular because Lincoln is always out there, and Donald Trump show you what popularity does, right? In an election, people familiarity face. We see you, we hear you making noise. So Lincoln Bean getting that 300 votes isn't surprising to me, because he was more popular than the other two candidates, to be honest. So, the Bahamas knows Lincoln Bean. Everybody knows Lincoln Bean. So these other ones came out in a short time in a by-election trying to sell themselves. Carter Grant was a pastor and whatever in Grand Bahama. So I guess, people know him. They may not know him, but you feel like you know Lincoln Bean. You've heard Lincoln Bean speak up on issues and so forth. So to me, I don't think it's so surprising that he got it. Now, the question is, if that was another candidate that they ran in there, would they have gotten those 300 votes? And I highly doubt it. And
I felt they should have done the same thing with the PLP and what the FNM tried to do. When you introduce a new candidate there, and after you introduce a new candidate there, you tie him to Lincoln Bean. Wherever Lincoln Bean go, he go. He does most of the talking, because that's what the PLP did with Mr. Smith. Carter Grant did a little bit too much talking. That I get him in trouble. But once you attach that candidate for West Grand Bahama to Lincoln Bean, allow Lincoln Bean to do his magic, what he usually does, and they now would have someone who they can leave there now to say, in the next 3 years, we can gain some more ground. Mind you, like you say, you might get to 307. Hey, if you get 200, that's still good. That's still good. If you get 150, that's still good. So therefore, the strategy would have been attach him, just like how Kingsley was attached to Brave and everybody else. Grant was attached to Ingram and Pintard. You do the same thing and you go from there. Now, the Tada girl, she ain't got no one to attach to, so her getting 4 votes, God be the glory. I know them 4 people is, but they must see was on some good stuff. But
probably had some good family or something down there, some friends. But to me, the COI, again, because it's the third party in the Bahamas, is a non-starter to me. If I was Lincoln Bean, and I think Lincoln Bean actually ran for the FNM before, but to be honest, with this debacle that we had at this poll, I think the leader of the opposition can be in some problems. And I've seen stories where they said the former Priam minutes was circling even before now, and this is the what he was looking for to Punks. And I believe there's a big faction that does not want the former prime minister back. So if Lincoln Bean was to, let's hypothetically go back to the FNM, a leadership race is coming, right? It might be easier to try and go to the FNM, win a leadership race in the FNM. Say, oh, by the way, you already see I have 300 more votes and West End, right? So it's not like he's coming into the party with nothing. He's coming in with the party. I'm sure if he convinces people to merge with the party, and most people usually end up having to do some sort of deal, form some sort of coalition government. And I think if they try to do that early enough, he has something to battle with and say, you know what? Because again, we're going to split, we're going to take some of y'all votes, but FNM, we could give you all some votes. You're all trying to be the government. It's wide open now. FNMs haven't started selecting. They haven't started lining up yet. The PLP hasn't to the point yet where everyone's saying, oh yeah, they definitely gone. Let me go sign my name to it. I think a better strategy for Lincoln is, realistically, if you want to get elected, a chance of being a government or would be to try and try to go in now with the FNM. I know last election, I think they tried to do something with the DNA or something, but you could put 5, 10 of those parties, other parties together, they wouldn't. They still wouldn't win a seat. It's not like you getting a lot of votes even by amalgamating those. But I think there's probably an opening, at least a foot in. He might be able to get inside of the FNM. The PLP is the government, so they really don't need you. They're not going to take you. But perhaps that looking at the FNM might be interesting.
Okay, I can need you to stick a pin right there. We're going to go talk about that at the other side of the end of this commercial break. But before we go, let's hear this one more time.
No broke man, no broke man. Grand Bahama and Lemonade. No broke man, no broke man. I say, can you trust a broke man? Oh no. Can you trust a broke bishop? Hell no. No broke man, 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 no broke man. Do you want a broke man? Oh no. Do you want a broke bishop? Hell no. I said I don't want no broke man.
What any broke bishop can do for me?
Oh, and I don't want no broke bishop. Hell no. I said I don't want.
And we're back.
Y'all petty boy.
That's a little petty. I admit that was a bit petty. I apologize. That there was no reason at all for that. None at all.
It's amazing how we label ourselves, though. People.
But let's go back into this FNM thing, and I wanted to talk about a topic that I saw pictures of Hubert Ingram, former leader of the FNM, Michael Pintat, present leader of the FNM, Tommy Turnquest I saw bouncing about, but somebody was missing. Menace. Where Menace was, George? Now, I hear all kind of little funny things. Oh, he going away. He had to go to a family function. He had to go do this. He had to go do. I mean, all conveniently around this time because, boy, the election been going on a little while. You been over there that long? My God, what kind of function I was y'all out over there for weeks upon weeks upon weeks? We didn't see you once in Grand Bahama. Now, like you said, Lincoln being might could slip in there and say, hey, boy, y'all having little issues. I can come here and clean up all of this. Now, remember now, back in the day, Hubert Ingram come in there, slip in there, and clean up all that mess what was going on and say, hey, you look like y'all need someone new in here. I'm the man.
Right.
Yeah. So that can't be much far-fetched, but I know how much people in the FNM want bother with Lincoln being. I don't know. But if you want to win, you do some things to win, George.
Yeah,
Shane,
exactly.
Remember now, Shane was in West End campaigning, said the people call him. After that, he said, well, you know, and then after short that he talking about the guy for chairperson, and then he realized, well, you know, it didn't make no sense doing this and that. All kind of things, and Brave them had to pull him in. Hold on, catch yourself, relax. We can give you one little something on the side. We got some Scooby-Doo snacks for you.
Yeah.
Just relax yourself. Be quiet over there. We can handle you later. But we need the seat. Can the FNM, and definitely right now, they got to go convention. Convention got to come. And when that convention come, all hell can break loose. Because I think hell breaking loose now. Because Menace got to see, boy, I tell you on this bar, I can't lead you. This little by-election thing, he couldn't even handle. Simple little thing. He couldn't handle this. Y'all need to get me back in there. Now, I don't know who talking to Menace. I don't know. I don't know if they forget the past couple of years what happened. But tell Menace, come on, man. Come on, man. If the FNM is serious, and this is just my humble opinion. I want to know one thing. I going by what I saw in his term, and the man can't come back. Something. If I don't understand these politics, because I know I can't get fired for a job. And then when they put the application out for people to apply for the job, I can't go back there and apply for that job again. Hold on.
You would think not, right?
I fire you. How you get back here?
The nerve.
These fellas don't understand that. They so full of themselves, they don't see it. But Hubert Minnis was in there. This is now definitely the party is fractured. People now seeing some seams in this F&M structure and some cracks in this, and they saying, hold on, what's going on here? Who could put this back together? Is it Minnis? Is it Pintard? Is it Sands? What you say? What say ye, George?
So I think that's why I started running on with Lincoln Maine because
I ain't ready for that one yet. I think none of us ready for that one yet, George.
to be honest, Mr. Pintard is probably the better choice in terms of how can I put it? He just seems to be a decent human being, right? Like he can talk, he can whatnot, but all of that doesn't usually equate to leadership or votes, and he does not seem. Remember, we had Tommy T. Tommy T. He had that. He had the F&M DNA. He had everything going. Nice man. Probably never got a speeding ticket in his life.
Right.
But Tommy T was boring.
Yeah, he too nice.
Nobody wanted to.
Nobody like nice guys.
Tommy T. I mean, even the song Tommy T and Me wasn't that. I mean, no broke man sound better than that.
Yeah, I agree.
So he just did not have that appeal, and I think that's what Mr. Pintard is suffering from. That and the fact that he's, I guess, a Grand Bahamian. Like he's in, the Nassau boys seem to be around more things, around Junkanoo all the time. They have a bigger audience to perform to, a bigger market. So that probably doesn't help him. But I don't see him as having, even in the F&M now and going into this election, he doesn't appear to have the full support of the majority of that party. Like I've seen Pintard around, and like I said, you as a leader, you being humble is one thing, but you need to create a bit of buzz around yourself. Like even when I think Obama was president, and Obama moving around was like a rock concert even before Obama went there. Donald Trump say, where you put me? He had the drum playing and whatever touchdown and the explosion, people coming out. And if you're not seeing people, galvanizing around a leader like that, even with Hubert Ingram, when Hubert Ingram, like you said, went to the F&M, from day one, Hubert was fire. He energized that party. He gave them something new. He was funny. He was witty. He had he was knowledgeable. And so he appealed to a lot of the people. So now the Minnis story, like you said, Minnis didn't go out in a blaze of glory. He fortunately won his own seat, but the reality with Minnis is Minnis has a legacy of COVID. He has the hurricanes in Grand Bahama. There was a lot of drop balls in that administration. I don't know. I can't really think of a lot of the highlights right now, but like you said, again, I don't know if he's the F&M's first choice. And it's always hard for a leader coming back from that, not just losing, but the type of loss. Like this wasn't a close election.
Oh yeah.
Donald Trump going back to run for the U.S. president, this came down to like votes, like a state, right? So when he say I got robbed or whatever, if you got robbed and it actually could make a difference in an election, then you have a legitimate reason if you feel that way. But when you lost all those seats, you got wiped out at the polls.
Yep.
Next in line, we need to see somebody else. You got firmly rejected at the polls, and you need to go in timeout. Not just for we need the next leader in line. And if that's not Pintard, who else in line? And I'm not saying the Sands or whoever else either. The F&M right now is suffering from what some of those parties in the U.S. is suffering from, which is that next candidate who has the appeal, the public appeal, to be a leader, to think. And that's why people still looking at Biden, looking at Trump, because they're looking at a lot of these candidates. You're all boring. We don't care. yeah, you look like a decent person. Yeah, you have a good record and you little, but they don't have that it fact, no wow factor behind them. So people like, let's stick with what we know. So if the F&M goes in, and that's going to be a big thing. I if they really can get this leadership thing right, because we still a country that looks at everything starts with the leadership. At the end of the day, you have to have a solid enough person at the helm that people want to vote for. That will, before we start looking at these other candidates. So I think the leadership race is open. Other F&Ms need to come forward. It might even be people who just coming into the F&M that not big names in the F&M now in the House. I think there's a lot of Bahamians on the whole who probably align with the party but not vocal. It does seem like that seat is very much up for grabs, can be up for grabs. I don't think that Mr. Pintard has such a tight grip on it that people are going to say, we're not going to challenge him. This is, I think the crows are going to start circling.
Yeah.
He's wounded right now. A lot of it seemed to be self-inflicted, and I don't think the persons who are vying will be merciful with that. And if he does not have a strong support system, this will test to see who he has who has his back. Now, if they don't have no one have his back, it's going to be short, and it might be Minutes in the short run, whether it's Minutes or someone else. Right now, Minutes probably again. Minutes saying you lose since I lost. So, and at least right now, Minutes 1-1. Pintard, he 0-1. So I won an election. That stands for something. I have experience. I have whatever. This dude couldn't even build and bring the seat. Forget losing the seat. He couldn't pick the right candidate.
Yep.
And so that's going to come back to bite him, unfortunately, because I do think he has a lot to offer in terms of, he seems to, do his homework. He seems to be a nice person, but nice doesn't, in politics, that's not a criteria that's going to take you over the hump.
Listen, let me, F&M, I can tell you this right now. Take this little advice. Menace ain't the one. I might as well let you know, Menace ain't the one. Plain and simple as that. Right now, it is very hard for y'all to win with Pintard after him losing this if he don't change the way he does things. Meaning that he's a great speaker, but he's losing the people when he speaks. There's nothing that they are doing to show up the PLP. And mind you, one thing I like with Brave don't do much things wrong. Now he's have some people who little rogue. My only problem is you gotta yuck them in quick. When they start acting the fool, me, I yucking in quick. Hey, catch yourself. Pop. Yeah. Catch yourself. He ain't none of that going on here. But I looking at Brave and what he is doing now. I shouldn't be this, and the PLP should be paying me for this, but in West Grand Bahama, they just announced, say they got ambulance on the way, they got 5 EMTs, so now West Grand Bahama will have 24-hour ambulance service straight through. This is something they was wanting for a long time. When you add the government complex, and I ain't got to go Freeport for these things. Whenever they open up the building, they think they slick. That building ain't open up fully yet. That's all right. We call it a soft opening.
Yeah, it's there.
Then they got the school that can't finish. Hopefully that can finish in next year, September. If they get that open, that's another big old thing. And they straight. Now, Mr. Smith like talk with West End, he can do this and that. Kingy, I got an idea for you. West Grand Bahama, I need you to call me. I got the perfect idea to get West Grand Bahama back to where it need to be. It's legit. All right. Me and George, that's my lawyer. We can work through all the legalities and everything. I got a construction guy. We could do 1 or 2 things up there, and the government got a leader. Then all your people in West End will have a job. After that, all you got to worry about is Hannah Hill, go west, And all you gotta do is fix their house. Once you fix their house, they good. You got all their vote. And ain't nobody can knock on their door talking about they can get their vote because you can be straight. But Kingy, you know my number? Call me. Call me. But F and M in problems. I'm sorry. I'm looking to see when this convention come out, all the knives come out, everybody stabbing one another in the back. And the hurtful part about it is the longer they take to do this convention, the longer it can take for those wounds to heal. Because they like the PLP where they can, when they get grabbed, sent back in. When I grab you by your neck and when you know how they grab she and say, hey, catch yourself, you ain't that machine no more. The F and M ain't like that. They can still be carrying on, making noise and all this other stuff. Going through election doing the same foolishness. They need to get this convention over with quick to solidify themselves, to unify themselves as quick as possible, to become a strong unit to go get the PLP. Because something happened. Brave can slip up some way, somehow. He look good now. Plenty low-lying fruit. But Grand Bahama still, Freeport, still got plenty work to do. And that's where the majority of your vote. West Grand Bahama that's only one seat. They got plenty work to do in Freeport, and they got big jobs to do in Freeport. So if he can get them done, boy, I don't know if they can stop him. But F and M got to get themselves together. Big time. Big. They have plenty trouble right now if they ain't structure that party back together. But we're going to have to take a commercial break, and we can come right back.
Track and field, you know we in another mode. Cause they already know we run the road. Cause when it come to the four, Stevie never fought. And when you say Sean A, that's another goal. Buddy acting like he can never miss. And when it come to Josh Chisholm, that's another hit. And we got an MVP in Connecticut. It's the biggest that we have ever been.
Yes, that's Off the Bench every Wednesday at 6 p.m. on the Superior Talk Bahamas YouTube channel. Catch it Wednesday at 6 p.m. Now, boy, see, this another thing with Brave doing good now. See, they need some help in the hospitals, and Brave going all the way to Africa. All the way to Africa to get some nurses. Now, you know, it got to be bad if you go all the way to Africa, George. You know where Africa is? Africa far. I mean, it's far. I don't even know how we get here from Africa to the Bahamas on them boats. Our ancestors get there, but that was a long trip. But they hired 18 new nurses from Ghana, and they are here in our health system, helping us out as best as they can. And what is so fascinating with this whole thing is they are saying now that they are doing this sister city agreement. And it's between Nassau, New Providence, the Bahamas, the Princess, and Princess Town, Ahanta, Ghana, will form a long needed directed connections between Africa and the people of its diaspora born in the Bahamas. It will serve to strengthen the cultural, social, economic ties for the people of both countries. So, nurses is the first stage of this. So, it might be some more things coming. I know what Ghana's making. I know they's making or whatever. Can't just be sending people here. Now, hold on now. You know how we go. We into all kind of funny type of people coming here. So, no. What you say of us going all the way to Ghana to get some nurses? What say ye?
And what I say, I know the fellas in Freeport like to go to Cuba. I don't know why I didn't get some Cuban nurses. So,
y'all these red guys, boy.
I see him a lot closer. I mean, and I probably the same. I don't know in terms of cost, but that sounds like a cheaper option and one that might have blended in a little better. Diversified.
Yeah, but them guys in Cuba only speak Spanish. They can't help nobody in the hospital. Well, these guys from Ghana can speak English.
Ain't nothing much to say in the hospital. You sick, you're in pain, you bleeding,
No,
everybody.
No.
What's on this don't need to be said.
No. You ain't. That's because you're pretty young. You're messing with my life. What's up? No, that ain't gonna do. No way. That's all right. Them Guyana guys, I'm sure they can do the job.
And in all seriousness, there's a bigger problem at play here. And obviously, any help that you can get is good. But I understand one of the reasons why we need nurses from Guyana or any place anywhere in the first place is a lot of the Bahamians been leaving
Yeah.
to go off. We had a lot of, even people we went to school with, a lot of nurses came out of
Yep. We
graduate.
know. Yeah.
A lot of them live overseas now. Like,
Yeah.
and we need to ask ourselves, why are the nurses leaving? There's a need for them. Usually when you need somebody, you take care of them. You make sure that they're paid, they're well paid. Like, how do you play? What cost do you put on life? Right? We have unions and every place else making sure people get paid money. But we're gonna let I get to the point where we about begging and scrapping trying to get nurses, because nurses going to Canada and these places where they could try to make a decent living for themselves. We need to revamp the whole system, pay scale, look at all these things, try to attract some Bahamians back, because and if we can't attract those who set back, you at least want to attract new nurses coming out of school, going into that profession, other than thinking that they go into COB being trained to go overseas. Once they get, a little bit of experience, they're going off. So we need to look at the pay scales. We need to raise them as much as possible. That's something that Brave or whoever government should put some priority on, because nurses will always be needed. Nurses are always needed everywhere in the world. So they're in demand. And if something is demand, you don't want yellow stock to go off. I mean, how much does it cost? Will it cost the government? You know what a plane ticket is from Canada? That's the plane ticket alone.
That's a lot. Yeah.
And when these people come to the Bahamas, again, we do have minimum wage. So although you might be getting them cheap, you still have to keep some sort of minimum standard to them. You have to house them, most likely, right? Because they're negotiating. You're not going to pay me a little bit of money and then you go pay rent and all. So they probably have to put a package together now to attract them in the first place, because you're desperate, right? The fact that you have to come over there. And so, again, who is doing the accounting on this, budgeting this up? What does this cost to bring in these people versus paying people a bit more? Because I always believe most Bahamians don't want to leave the Bahamas.
Right.
But, when it comes to your family and you went to school, you have a skill set. The man over there saying I could triple their salaries to what they're paying you over there. Come here, we respect you. And it also starts with respect. You have to show people more respect in that profession that's in need. I think if you respect people, even sometimes where you can't even pay them as much, but if I'm getting treated enough and my country is showing me that they want me here, they respect me to this level, that may keep some of them, make some of them want to stay as well. So the immediate need is, if the immediate need is there's a shortage of nurses and we have to go to the moon to get them, sure. But I hope this does not become an exercise and just, okay, let's see where we can get recruit cheap labor from. Because, then we start looking at Philippines, India, and just trying to bring in people, as opposed to trying to figure out the fact that we have a lot of Bahamians that are into nursing, that want to be nurses, that in the medical field, they want to live and work in the Bahamas, but we're allowing them to go because we're not paying them and treating them properly. That problem needs to be fixed.
Boy, I know they can fix that one, because nursing is a problem all over the world, and with the public health that we have here, ain't nobody want to pay for it. Ain't nobody. We just want to walk in the place and say, "Hey, look at me, fix me up, let me go home." And even if they triple in the salaries in the States, if we can meet them halfway, we double their salary or promote them to whatever you need to be promoted. I don't know how it goes. And add that respect value that you mentioned. That is very critical to show that, hey, I want you and I need you here. And it can't be every time the contract up, they got to strike in order for them to get their money. If you promise the people the money, give the people the money. He ain't gotta come. I ain't gotta come walk off the job for these things to happen. That's what happened last time. And these are the things what causing these people to say, guess what? I need to put up with this. Everybody calling me. I the number one draft pick right now. I don't need this in my life.
Right.
So once they could do that, I feel we would be in good shape and we could be in a better situation. I wonder why this don't happen with doctors. We ain't got much doctors who will go think of me. They got too much doctors all over here.
Well, the doctors, I think we have in a situation with doctors as well, because, but I don't think there's as many doctors as the nurses, and because we probably do pay doctors a bit more. There's more opportunities, I think, for doctors in terms of starting their own practice.
They go open up their own firm across the road.
Yeah.
Say they can't do it in the public hospital, and say, oh, if you go across to the private people could do it. And then I get there.
You know how it is.
Hold on. I thought you tell me what difference us being in different buildings now. You couldn't do it in that building, but now you can do it in this building. So they got one racket going on over there.
And they start a drugstore, so they're selling you all the drugs. So like, you need to take 50 tablets a month.
Mm-hmm.
A day.
That's how they will keep you.
This is the prescription to my pharmacy across the street.
That's right. We got the lowest prices and down.
Yeah,
I got the highest prices.
Yeah, they put you on a prescription for 20 years until they kill you. And then so so I think the doctor situation is a little bit better because they probably have more opportunities than the nurses have. But again, Canada cold. I mean, you being Canada, I being Canada.
Yeah. Right now,
I don't like that. So that ain't our first choice.
No,
that money looking good enough. If I could go in the cold when I go home, I got one 50-inch TV. I could pay for mortgage. I could get one decent apartment, one nice ride. I could order Uber Eats. Work part time, and some of them again they have as many jobs as they want, because you also have in a lot of those countries a lot of those retirement homes and all these different things. So people could leave their job, go. So they could amass a lot of money, and we need, like I said, desperately to find a way to fix that problem. My fear is if the government find cheaper labor someplace, it comes down to the dollar. We fill in the hospital with nurses, we paying half the cost. If it comes down to cost, that would be a sad situation. And again, those are the things that voters at the polls need to understand and need to look at when they're voting. Because why my auntie had to move away?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I guess we'll have to wait and see, and hopefully, more come and some behemoths come home, and we live how we need to live, and stop bringing in the expats as much as possible. But let's move on now to our question of the day. Okay, today's question is, can the PLP deliver the promises for West Grand Bahama and Bimini? Now, they make a lot. They make all kinds of things. They say, what y'all want? Silver and gold is all we have. We can give you all that you want. They promise them the word. But you got 3 years to do these things. And like Brave say, if he ain't doing the things what he's supposed to do, we ain't gonna bring him back. Now, I know how to take that. I got to luck. If I was king, I had to luck at Brave left side. Hold on. I wasn't part of the contract. Some of these things I say on this stage, little hefty to do. So he promised them to open up the government complex and name it after Obi. Pop. That finished with that been done. The school that can't finish. Hopefully that'll be finished by September. Pop, that done. You got ambulance now in West Grand Bahama. Pop, now that done. Now, to start from scratch with these things, and with scratch from these things, he said you got to open one fish house in West End. I know they already had one or something like that, but they going to open another one. Boy, that's another story. And then, how much people are these employing in West Grand Bahama? You gotta try get these. One thing I know about West End people ain't scared of work. They like to work. They just don't like to work no place else. They like to work in West End. Now, if you could get them jobs in West End, they're the happiest people in the world. And that's where Kingy can have to put a lot, and I mean a lot of his concentration in. But I tell him, call me. I got the idea for you. Let's pitch this to Ichester, and we could go some places with that. Anyway, can they? What you think, George? Can they deliver these promises in 3 years? They got 3 years to do all these things.
Can they do it? Is yes. Will they do it? Is another question.
Well,
and it comes down again to priorities and budget, right? So you have limited amount of resources. Kingy, like you said, is the new kid on the block. So so when you have other people with other constituencies as well crying for money on the waiting line, so they're not just gonna let you go and make this man look like the new star kid on the block by showing all the resources down there. Like you said, the sad thing is the good and bad thing is the OB Center open, complex open. So I mean, they might be looking at we done. That's it. You know, what more you want, right?
Lord of money.
So you know how long it take that thing was building. So so I don't expect too much attention. You need to shut up and wait now. What more you want? You know.
No man. They can't do my boy like that, man.
It could be that type of reaction he gets when he goes back to the draft now. Like, boss, we spent plenty of money to win the seat in West End. We campaign or whatever. Sit small till your name calls. Some other people now trying to get reelected. Election coming up. We have to do some other things. We just had a national convention that costs a lot of money. So money might be a little tight right now. That's that oil money from the Middle East start kicking in. The FTX gone.
FTX gone.
Yeah. So money might be a little tight. And if they put everything into opening up the complex or turning on the lights, like you said, the school need to finish. That might be a game time decision because right now, like you said, 3 years out, they gonna try and stretch leaves. If they're gonna happen at all, I don't think they happen in the next 2 years. We can leave those until close to the end of the term so people's memory can be fresh. We did something again, and so they may have peaked already in terms of I would taper your expectations. You're from West Grand Bahama right now. You got some lights which they had to put up for election. Then you can call them out.
They fixed the road. Boy, the road fixed good over there now.
Oh yeah, that hurt. So somebody who was writing the checks saying, "Listen, we run up a big bill. You ever gone out at a good party and then look at the bill, boy? We gotta have some cutbacks now.
Yeah, we eat all of this, boy. This like a lot.
Yeah, y'all eating donut this week. This last month. We act the fool last month. So I think this election was an act the fool time, and a lot of money was spent. So unless it's really coming from the private sector and investments, I wouldn't really look for government to pump too much more money into it. Now, if government can attract some investors with deep pockets and they put in some of these other projects go in Freeport and or West Grand Bahama, then I think his better chance is now to look to that private sector. But if history tells us anything, I think the government, and we know the government broke. I don't think a whole lot of money left will be spent there because now they have to allocate money elsewhere.
But George, you can't go do all this big running up and down. Say this demand for the place. This demand who can deliver. You tell the people, you voting for them other guys because they can't do nothing because they ain't in power.
Right.
I say, okay, that makes sense. I can give you my vote. I give you my vote. You will tell me you ain't got no money either. Well, I might as well stay with the broke man. What I sitting up here messing around with you? At least the man come up front say he broke. You tell me you got all this money to do all type of things, and now all you after you then open up the complex, open up 2 departments in it, and finish the school. Ain't nothing else left. All the money gone. The cupboard bare.
Hey, no matter what happened now, until the next 3 years, the complex will be open, and the school is likely to. That's a big deal. Like I said, this complex been a long time. It didn't open up on the F&M. I think it's probably
no, that's not a big deal. I would not accept that as a big deal. You can't come to me and say this is what Kingy do in this kind of time, which right now my house ain't fixed. I ain't got no job. And you come back to me. No, you promise us this. You can't do my boy like that. My God, you tell the people he can't to do his job. Or we ain't gonna hire him back, and then you ain't get a man no money. You can't on like the fire. You gonna make bricks with no straw? What?
Kingsley Smith. What Kingsley Smith was doing before he got this?
He was chief
passport
officer. Yes.
Right. He was handing out passports for the government. He wasn't making it rain. He wasn't developing cities, a contract. He wasn't providing jobs for people. All these things now you're gonna ask this young man to do. He don't have no history of doing these things. Newsflash, right? I don't know if he's so. You have a very setting out this ambitious agenda for this young man who was handing out passports a while ago. Yeah, the PLP fixed some stuff to get him elected, did some things. You know what? He could probably make sure the lights stay on inside the center.
No. You grab this man because you say this man is passionate about his home.
Yeah. Of course he's passionate.
He wants to do things in his hometown. The boy was doing them before, and now he figured he got the government behind him. He can do so much more. I quit my job at the passport office to come here to help my people. And you telling me now you ain't got no money? Wait, no. Let me on stage using saying that.
And I would tell him is go to Cat Island. Brave is the prime minister, Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
My God.
Where's that look better than Cat Island, I'm sure.
Oh my goodness, my God. That's what we doing now. That's where we are.
Reality hurts sometimes, but it is what it is. So, like, all I'm going to say to him is know what you're working with, know what the resources are. You could have all these expectations, things to happen, but if now the government has said we spend all this money, like you said, some things happen, but you have to make it happen. How do you make it happen if you already exhaust your budget? If we had a budget of that's a $250,000 for you, and that budget already spent. What I'm saying to you is, you're the last person in line now to go back to that. To the
Why is the last person? I just had all these people out there come to see me. Now all of a sudden y'all don't know me.
You elected you 3 years in. Some people mad who was elected 3 years ago who haven't done anything for their constituency yet. And they're gonna say, listen, you got your seat, you just get elected. Sit back, little boy. Okay, I trying to get re-elected in the next 3 years. So this thing goes in who make the loudest noise, but it also has to be some system attached to it. Who next in line? We already spent a lot of money on you. That's what I'm trying to say. It took a lot. As simple as that saying, it still took a lot for the PLP to win that election. They threw some money. There was allegations of $1,000 a shade. I ain't saying
yeah. I ain't getting none of them shade yet.
Depending on how much shades you give out, that could be a lot of money. And so all I'm saying is, if I was them, I would guard my heart so it doesn't get hurt. I would be even keel on my expectations going forward, and the full knowledge of they spent a lot of money just now. So if I think they're just going to be a non-spend of money for over the next 3 years to make you look like a superstar so you could win your seat again, I don't think that's a realistic approach. I think more importantly is he has to look at things that were already on the drawing board, try to see if he can get one or two more of those things off the drawing board. But he's going to also have to find now that whereas you were the only show in town that they wanted bragging rights and they ball you, you know how fellas they're trying to get the girl and you get balled when they ask, are you going to Kentucky or Pepperport like everybody else, right? You know, this ain't gonna be steak and lobster all the time. It's steak and lobster, it's wine and dine, could be finished. Because now it's back. We had an election to one. We're back to the regularly scheduled program. You're the last man in, so you sit small, see how things run. You know, try to learn the system, and you know, help Ginger Moxie make some noise in Grandma.
Oh Lord, look who name you can go. How you want that man? That man from West End them. How you going to them people and tell them he ain't got it? Nah, you sound like the bishop now.
Well, that one on him, but he just need to find out where his
Yeah.
sponsors and benefactors are, because they will come to him, but if you don't have it, you will find that politics, like you said, Bahamian people are very demanding. You're coming in a time when people are hurting. So yes, the victory feels good, but now there is an expectation. People will be expecting certain things to happen. You come in with a big bang. But now that the music has died down, you heard any noise this week? You saw any rally? Right?
No,
So,
I see nothing.
Yeah, like when the carnival leaves town, the carnival gone.
Well, I figure now he getting tailored up right now. He got big ceremony now. That's another big splash they gotta go spend some good money right there. So I think he's dressing up now.
Yeah, but what money then will be left over to spend in West Grand Bahama and Bimini? That's the problem he will have to answer. And he can probably hope to get a job like Obi had, where you're a minister and you move to Nassau. You really don't have to be around them that much.
Oh no man. Oh Lord. Anyway, Mr. Smith, I wish you the best luck. I hope Brave them really got your back, and you could do something for the people of West Grand Bahama, okay? And Bimini. So we can see how this turn out, and we can be back at this, looking at this. Right now, we got to go to our Bungie of the day. Okay, our Bungie of the day. And I thought we'd talked about this before, and I thought this was over. All right? Now, Ron DeSantis, governor of Florida. Now, you know we like go Florida. This is our place. This is our second home.
Mm-hmm.
But this man, he getting on my nerves now. First time, he ain't saying nothing. We let some things slide. Okay. That's this. Ha, key. You wouldn't have run on with this if you were serious. But he gonna make another speech and come talking about us again. Oh, if the Bahamas was to do any missiles to us, I would flatten them. I would decimate them. What big man? Why you bought ice here, boy? You ain't know the Bahamas and the United States got good things. We like that. We down like 4 flat tires. What wrong with you? Why are you trying to be messy? Why are you trying to cause problems? Why are you trying to get into something that wicked? All these people around there who don't like yours. Cuba don't like yours. Why you ain't say if Cuba do that, we would decimate them. We would flatten them. You know why you ain't? Because you ain't stupid. You know they would yank your chin quick to say, hold on. You know them Cuban. But they're gone, but they still stupid.
Isn't DeSantis Cuban? He's not Cuban himself.
I don't know I know he's a fool. I know that. That's what I know.
DeSantis sounds like probably from Cuban heritage.
Yeah, but he didn't drink the tea now, man. He fully white. He fully you might as well call him Smith, because he fully blue-eyed, blonde hair and everything now. I don't know what's going on with this man. But the foreign affairs minister, I kind of agree with him, but I don't agree with him because he said, you know what? He called the embassy and everything. They say, hey, that man don't speak for us. We ain't into that. Bahamas and the United States, we good. Now, he say Fred Mitchell say go on social media and let's start talking, buddy. Let's start letting them know, hey, when we come to your country, we don't come there slunking. We don't come there slapping up. We spend big money. We ain't come there hanging about trying to get something. We come there for what we come for, and we paying y'all for it, and we leave it. A lot of us don't stay. We ain't on that run. We friends. We boys. Stop your foolishness. When election time for him to do anyway, because he gotta go. You know, we still around here messing around with this fella them doing food. He messing up business now.
I think it's clear. He's not doing good in the presidential bit. So
no, not at all.
He's a mixed bag of chips in Florida because I think some of his policies and things that he said is a very controversial type of guy. And I think at one point he was trying to be the successor to Donald Trump, trying to be a little Donald Trump Jr., but even Donald Trump kind of laughing at him like, you ain't got it, buddy.
No, you could never be me.
Yeah, and in fairness to Donald Trump, he hasn't talked about decimating the Bahamas. So I don't know what the fascination is with Bahamas. Like you say, keep our name out your mouth.
Yep.
CYC.
Yep.
We ain't bothering you. Like you say, we go to Miami, go to Walmart, we go to Florida, we shop, whatever, we leave. You don't have a Bahamian problem. So why the Bahamas on your mind like that? I don't know, where some Bahamian person talking to his wife, chatting up or whatever, but
I think so.
Like you said, forget the Bahamas. I know we close, but we're a little small island over there on the side.
Everything I don't mess up.
Yeah, exactly. We say we hit you with rock, plenty
rock and come liquid now.
Yeah. But that's more our speed, missiles and all this stuff. Like, so it shows a lot of ignorance. Like you said, you're pissing off a small group of people, but and that shows a bit of an arrogance to me, like you said, because certain countries is not even going to joke or say those things with the Bahamas. We are one country. We don't. You hear about sun, and sea, and a little drug bust or something like that.
Once in a while.
Bahamas don't bother nobody, right? So wrong. I don't even know how you were making an analogy or.
I don't. How?
Yeah, you have to go to your way to come up with the Bahamas, and that's sitting there. You might as well create a fictitious country at that point. Because
Zimbabwe, not Zimbabwe, where I'm thinking them from, the Black Panther them from, call one of them funny name,
Wakanda.
Wakanda forever.
Yeah. Not the Bahamas. So yeah, I agree. Bongi today, like you said, the first time. Mistake. Second time, there's a habit. You're really trying to call us out.
Yeah.
And I agree. The Bahamas need to deal with that, like you said, top levels. Talk to this man, y'all. Talk to your boy. Right? Because we ain't bother nobody, and the worst thing you do is bother a man who don't bother with nobody.
Thank you.
We might be small, we don't have missiles, but hey, you might be on vacation in the Bahamas.
Don't slip.
Yeah.
so all I can tell them right now, CYC crew, let's get with it. Let's deal with this fella.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's show him what we into.
Yeah. And we're not supporting your campaign or anything related to it. You are not a friend of the Bahamas. You're officially not a friend.
Exactly. Well, anyway, George, that's our show for the day. I can see you next week, and we'll see what else is and what's going on. You all have a nice night.